Warriors fans, we have an interactive episode for you today. I need you to comment your thoughts because I'm going to give you about 10 different trade scenarios. I went through Fansbo's website and they have a trade simulator, so I know that they work on both ends. Who's the trade for? Andrew Wiggins. Reportedly, he's on the trade block. So we're going to break down the trades for superstars, role players, how does the money work, how would the team look now with all these trades. I need your support. I need your comments on what works, doesn't work, and what I missed. Randy Silver here, Warriors Digest. Before we get into it, y'all, thank you for watching. We have over 2,000 views on each episode, but please subscribe. Only 8% of the watchers are subscribing. You don't want to miss episodes daily, breaking down all the biggest Warriors news. Let's get into it. Andrew Wiggins. Per Evan Sidery, NBA reporter, the Warriors are expected to actively shop Andrew Wiggins in trade talks this offseason. He has $85 million remaining on his contract over the next 3 years. With JK, Jonathan Kuminga, Golden State will attempt to offload Wiggins for a better fit. Okay, so I've seen the comments. We hear the chatter. Some people like this. Most people like this. Some people like, no, help us win the championship. Still in his prime at 29. Just had a down year. Let's say the trade's happening. So we're going to go down the trade mill, and I've cooked up a bunch of trades, and I put them in to a trade simulator to make sure they work based off of money and draft picks. So what I need to do is, hey, rank the top 3, bottom 3, best, worst, or Randy, give me an idea I didn't do. Let's go into it. Trades for Andrew Wiggins. LeBron, KD, Paul George. We'll get to all of those. But great to see KD back in the jersey. LeBron, Steph would be fire. And of course, Paul George, stellar. Be a fun fit next to Steph. All right, first trade, Raptors. Wiggins goes to the Raptors. Who do we get back? Bruce Brown, 6'4" point guard, shooting guard. We have to give up 2 first-round picks. Bruce Brown's contract is a team option, so he could become a free agent, $23 million. So the money works here because $26 million per year, $23 million. You can see the cap impact is basically net for Raptors plus $32 million, Warriors minus $3 million. That works because, as we know, we're basically at the $172 million threshold. Now you may say, how is this a good deal, Randy? You're giving up 2 first-round picks. It's because we're giving up Wiggins' salary. Not having to pay basically $23, $24 million per year the next 3 years gives you more flexibility. If we don't want to bring Brown back, then we can trade him at the trade deadline mid-season, and you have more flexibility there. And of course, his contract is gone after the year, and you have flexibility. You don't need those draft picks because you're going to go sign somebody, and you have the money to do it. So it's option 1. It worked. Again, tell me your thoughts. Option 2, still with the Raptors. Now you're giving up Moody, a first-round draft pick that's favorable, and a second-round pick. You get back Bruce Brown, Cruz Boucher, and a first-round pick back. Boucher and Brown both have 1 year left on the contract, and you get a first round. Of course, Moody, I know a lot of you all say, keep Moody. We need to play him more. So this would be a big hurt to give up Moody. However, you're getting a first round back. You're losing a first round, gaining a second round. Probably not the best. It's all about the cap flexibility, being able to sign people. If you're going to play Wiggins, you're going to play Brandon, Steph, not Wiggins. You're going to play Kuminga, Brandon, Steph, Dre, KJD, Trace Jackson Davis, Then you need Moody as the backup to come in at the shooting guard, potentially maybe 4 a little bit. He did that last year. Could play some 2. I don't like this trade. It worked, just an idea. Next trade, here we go. Wizards, Kyle Kuzma. And why is this smart? We need 3-point shooting. We know when he's on, he's one of the better 3-point shooters in the association. To get him, Wiggins, we have to give up Moody, a first-round pick. Kuzma, 3 years left at $24 million. So overall, good impact for the Warriors. $8.5 million down in the cap over the lifespan of that deal. You can see here again, Kuzma at $23 million, Wiggins $26 million. So it gives you some flexibility to go sign potentially another player. We look at the size. Kuzma is a tall power forward, 6'9", could slot to the small forward. Then you have, of course, Draymond play the 4. Trayce Jackson-Davis play the 5. But giving up a first-round protected top 3, probably not going to be there. So we're going to lose that pick. No way we're going to be in the top 3. If we are, then things have gone terrible. So you're going to lose a first-round pick, 2027. Ideally, you're probably still in that mid to high range. But if things fall apart, you have that first-round pick. So this could work. Helps with size, shooting, rebounding. He's not known as the best defender, but can be a solid play. Okay, here we go. Now we're getting into some creative ones. Zach LaVine, slasher, scorer, all-around good player. But you got to give up Wiggins, Looney, and Moody to make this happen. That's a lot to give up. TJD is probably your starting center going the next year. Looney will back him up again. Nice to have Looney. Obviously, can go and start. Great team player. Losing Moody, we talked about. And, of course, Wiggins. You need to do this much because look at this. LaVine has 3 years left, $43 million on his contract. So you got to be able to give up a lot of money to make it happen. When we do this together, this is basically $39 million. It puts you, $40 million puts you right there. We'd have to deal with Moody's option to make it happen. But LaVine's been out there. You put LaVine next to Steph and Kuminga. Brandon goes to the bench. He's your backup point guard with Dre and Trayce Jackson-Davis. That's a solid starting 5. The question is, can LaVine stay healthy? Is that worth it? Next trade. Jimmy Butler with his emo hair. 2 years left on his deal, $49 million. So this is creative. You got Wiggins at the $26 million, and then Clay at the unrestricted free agent. So if Clay doesn't want to stay in Golden State, he wants something new, then you bring him back. You can sign him to a $20 million deal, and then use that as a sign and trade to send him over to the Heat. You get Jimmy at 6'7", small forward. So then again, you can have basically Steph, Kuminga, Jimmy, Trayce Jackson-Davis, and Draymond. Brandon, number 2 player off the bench. And again, that means Chris Paul, $30 million, isn't going to be there. This is a pretty solid trade, not going to lie. This works out. Jimmy stays relatively healthy, 2 years, so he'll be dedicated this year. And if you don't think it's going to work, then next offseason, next year, mid-year, you can trade him and get some draft capital or other players back. You're not going to keep Wiggins for those 3 years. And if Clay was going to go, you send him to Miami. I'm sure he'll love to live in Miami. He can use his boating skills out there. And he goes to a team that's competing to win in the East. Now, I've seen this in the comments a couple times. Magic players, you all want Jonathan Isaac from the Magic. 6'10", power forward, $17.4 million, 1-year deal left. He does not play a lot behind Banchero and the Magic, so this actually makes sense. They can get some assets back. You get Klay Thompson, Wiggins, and a second-round pick. It's a lot to give up, but this is why. Wiggins, $26.2 million. So we have to give up something. Potentially you don't, but the rumors are Klay to the Magic. So we can do a sign and trade because we can't sign Isaac outright. So we do a sign and trade. We give them Wiggins. They get some great perimeter defense, can really help them out. We saw against the Cavs series, they need that. Wiggins probably comes off the bench there, maybe. And then you have Klay coming off the bench to shoot, and you throw in the second round to help. You can see here that the impact for the Magic, they have plenty of room. I remember they have around $60 million of cap space this offseason. For us, we're losing $54 million, frees us up. And if Isaac doesn't work out, boom, we have plenty of space coming up for the next season. He slides in behind Trayce Jackson-Davis. Maybe he starts sometimes, but good fit. Lauri Markkanen. I've seen this in the comments as well. Basically, this is a straight-up player, like for like. Wiggins for Markkanen. He's got 1 year left, $18 million. If the Jazz don't see him in the future, this would be a good trade. Gives them some wing depth. They have Jordan Clarkson. He's more of a slasher scorer, so Wiggins can come in to help. And Warriors will also receive a first-round pick 2029 because you have to make this work. Markkanen's $18 million. Wiggins is $26 million. Throw in the first-round pick, $6 to $8 million type of contract. We get it. The Jazz have so many first round picks because of that trade of Gobert to the Jazz, Mitchell to the Cavs. And you would think in the trajectory they're on, kind of like what happened with OKC, 2029, they're going to be decent. Probably a playoff team because they have so many first round picks and they can go get stars. It'll be a higher first round pick. Again, comment your thoughts. Seen this one as well. We talked about this. Nick Claxton. We did a full video on Nick Claxton, center, 6'11". He's unrestricted free agent, so he would have to re-sign with the Nets on a sign and trade over to the Warriors. They would need to throw somebody in as well in terms of contract. So Lonnie Walker re-signs and is traded over to the Warriors for Wiggins for 3 years. Nets, they get some veteran experience, someone to lead the young players, winning, can come in and start. And for the Warriors, Claxton, 6'11", becomes the tallest guy on the team. Potentially he starts over TJD. I've seen some back and forth if that's a good idea or bad idea. You put Claxton, Draymond, Steph, Kuminga, and probably Brandon at that point, then pretty good. Lonnie Walker, we saw what he did. He can shoot from 3, from mid-range. He's a little bit streaky, 6'4", plays hard, gives us some good depth on the bench to be able to have a scorer come off and help. Comment your thoughts. Ingram, we did this trade as well. Talked about him. Good fit with the Warriors. You'd have to throw Looney in this one to make the money work. You can see right there, 36 million, 34 million. And then Brandon, 6'8". He can play some point guard. He would slide right in. Brandon Pajemski goes to the bench. So you have Steph, Kuminga, Ingram, Draymond, Trace Jackson-Davis. Good length, decent size, versatility, and can really help us out. Brandon would be very similar to what KD did for us, kind of someone we haven't had in a while, Harrison Barnes type. Could be a good trade. Again, he's got 1 year, 36 million left. So 1 year rental. If it works well, can re-sign him. If it doesn't, you could trade him mid-year and he's off the books. And again, look at the cap impact for the Warriors, plus 1 million, still puts us around the 172 million. What do you think? Comment your thoughts, thumbs up. With the Suns, Kevin Durant, 2-time champion with the Warriors, 2-time finals MVP. 2 years left, 51 million. So this has to be tricky to work. Wiggins, you get Clay to re-sign. A Simon trade goes to the Suns. And you have to throw in Moses Moody. Unfortunately, you lose him. And a first-round pick to make the money work. So Klay Thompson stays on the West Coast. Been here his whole life. Easy flight to LA. Easy flight back to the Bay. Can go boating on his off days. And stays on the West Coast time zone. Family, friends. Wiggins, part of the trade. Moody, sucks. Have to make it work. You would hopefully get somebody in free agency who can maybe take the backup spot. And then the first round pick, 2027. So again, that's right after Kerr's contract is up. Right after Kerr's contract is up. So we don't know where we'll be at that point. KD, we know what he brings. Left unsaid. He slides right in. So you put Kuminga at 2, Steph at 1, KD at the 3, Draymond 4, Trace Jackson-Davis 5. You could even push Draymond to the 5. Trace Jackson-Davis would go to the bench at that point. Draymond 4. And then at the 3, Kuminga, 2, Brandon, and 1, Steph. We saw that many times where it was KD, Steph, Clay, Draymond, and then a variation of somebody to be able to be that def lineup. Andre Iguodala comes to mind. Paul George, the last trade we got for y'all. We've seen this before. Again, last year of his contract, $48 million. So Clay's got to re-sign. You do sign and trade to the Clippers, Wiggins, and you throw in a second-round pick to make the money work. Warriors will go down in cap when this works, and Clippers actually go down as well when you look at the deal size and how it comes out. Clay, born and raised in the LA area, went to high school in Santa Margarita, Orange County. His dad played for the Lakers, legend there. As always said, he loved Kobe, would be down to play for the Lakers, so that works. 2, Wiggins is gone again, and then you have the second-round pick from Atlanta. Who knows where that will be. Paul George slots right in. Again, he could play 2 or 3. Brandon goes to the bench, starting will be our backup point guard, and you have Trace Jackson-Davis and Draymond at your 4 and 5. Paul George, 1 year left of his deal. Again, if it's not working halfway through the season, you could trade him, or if it works, you can trade him, re-sign him, And then our salary tax, who knows? But again, is he healthy enough? Same with KD. Is that a risk we're willing to take? So those are some good trades. Again, they all worked based off of the graphs that we had. So let me know if you think this is a good trade or bad trade, top 3, bottom 3. If there's something we missed, go ahead and check out the website, Fanspo, and then put them in the comments, and we'll go over it again soon. Warriors fans, fun episode for y'all. Warriors Digest, subscribe so you don't miss anything daily. We out.